Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? This is a day where the LSU baseball team rallied in the ninth inning, down 3-1 in the ninth. Rallied to beat Southeastern on the road. We're not leading with that. The New Orleans Saints, the LSU Tigers football team, today is the first day of media availability for spring practice. Year 3 under Brian Kelly, entire new defensive coaching staff, Garrett Nussmeier taking over for Jaden Daniels at quarterback, the transfer, some of the freshmen in. First day, media availability, Brian Kelly meeting with reporters. Not leading with that. We're leading with the fact that the greatest player at his position in the history of the Saints organization is certifiably insane. If you haven't heard the news today, Jeff Duncan reports earlier today that the Saints, here's the tweet, the Saints will soon release Michael Thomas. It shouldn't have ended this way. So Jeff Duncan reporting that the Saints are going to release Michael Thomas and basically goes through the history as we all understand what happened with Michael Thomas. And Michael Thomas is culpable for a lot of what happened, but there was also a lot of just very unfortunate circumstances being injuries. And that is super, super unfortunate. Like, we'll talk a bit more about it. But Michael Thomas clearly sees Jeff Duncan's report in the column and then goes to Twitter and just tees off on Jeff Duncan, not once, but in this stream of consciousness absurdity. Michael Thomas on Twitter. Jeff Duncan funny how they planning on releasing me if I was on a one-year deal, laughing emojis. Don't fall for it. He the same dude that tried to be my friend in season after saying I wasn't the same player in training camp. Hashtag next topic. Oh, that wasn't all. Michael Thomas went on. Jeff Duncan is a hoe. H-O-E, his word. Trying to stay relevant, so let's speak on it. The Saints leak information to him to try to ruin players' value, but see, I'm not broke, so I can speak on it. He is broke, so he need clicks. Go look at all his articles that never end up being true. He wasn't done. Michael Thomas tweeted a picture of Jeff Duncan. Look at this clown emoji. Y'all think he no ball? Yeah, right. Y'all really clicking links to what he write. Hashtag good luck. There's a picture of Jeff Duncan. And then he would add, look like he take them salt things. I don't know what that means. He wasn't done. He tweeted another picture of a man drinking a beverage. I don't know the reference to this. Muse, you got it? What is it?
I got nothing, but that's Cat Williams.
I don't know why he tweeted Cat Williams.
Yeah, I don't know.
He went on to say, they gon' call you crazy, but it's okay to not take no disrespect. Another tweet, respect comes first. He wasn't done. Ugh, y'all go catch 149 in 16 games, more 15, but I will give you 16. Holler at me, great is great. Drew played, Breeze, 20-something years, I think, and I'm still the only one to do what we did. Make yo excuse for someone else. It is remarkable. And I'm wondering if Michael Thomas has always been insane or if this is a new development. I mean, he is turning into the Saints version of Antonio Brown. Brown played 9 seasons in Pittsburgh. From 2013 to 2018, he was arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL. And then he went crazy. He demanded out of Pittsburgh. He froze his feet. He jumped into a pool when he realized he was being traded after never playing for the Raiders. There were allegations and criminal charges. He left the field in the middle of the game. He did an interview on the pivot wearing a mask. He's nuts. Michael Thomas, 8 seasons in New Orleans. From 2016 to 2019, you could argue he was the best wide receiver in the NFL. Set the NFL single-season record for receptions in 2019, was the NFL Offensive Player of the Year, and then we know the rest of the story. He, unfortunately, was beset with injuries. He ghosted the Saints for an entire offseason. He was part of the 5 minutes where people try to consider Drew Brees racist back in 2020. He's now crushing sports reporters. Michael Thomas is outside of his brain. Like, this is a quintessential example of someone who, when anything goes wrong, is always looking to point the finger. It is so unfortunate and almost unfathomable that the entire Saints fan base, like, I don't know a soul, not a single Saints fan, that is lining up to support Michael Thomas right now. There were still people who wanted to believe, after he spent an offseason ghosting the New Orleans Saints, which cost him an entire year, and Sean Payton came to his defense, and they tried to get him back in the building and back engaged, and then more injuries happened, and the injuries suck. But y'all, there's a long list in sports history of great players who battle injuries, and it cuts their career short. I mean, Gale Sayers was amazing. His career ended at 28 years old. Bo Jackson, hip injury, 28 years old. Troy Aikman, concussions, 33 years old. They had more in the tank, but they all are sympathetic figures because we're all left wondering what could have been had it not been for the injuries. Nobody is sympathetic toward Michael Thomas anymore because he's an a-hole or crazy or maybe both. I mean, it is so bizarre to be here at this point with Michael Thomas, where he is, without question, not debatable, the greatest player in this franchise's history at his position. And nobody is sympathetic toward him at all. Everyone is ready for him to pack up his ish and get the hell out of town. He is a nuisance at this point. Like, and why? How are you going to take shots at Jeff Duncan, of all people? Jeff Duncan's won 2 Pulitzer Prizes. He's a 4-time LSWA Columnist of the Year. He literally wrote the book on Sean Payton and Drew Brees. They trusted him with the story. Like, you're going to go after Jeff Duncan for reporting that you're going to be released? Man, so sad. And remember at the Combine, Dennis Allen was, when he met with reporters, he was asked about Michael Thomas. This is what Dennis Allen said a week ago.
Where he's at exactly in the process. He's in the recovery process. He's in the rehab process. I can't speak to exactly, where he's at, but I know that the reports I continue to get from the trainers is that, he's making progress.
I mean, the most, nondescript, denial you can imagine. And here we are a week later, and the report comes that Thomas is going to be released before the start of the new year. And he goes off on Twitter on Jeff Duncan. Good riddance, man. I cannot wait for the Saints to be rid of Michael Thomas. And you can't help but wonder, again, how much of this has bred and bubbled up because nobody respects the head of the organization. Again, when you don't fear consequence at all, you can behave like this. When you don't fear or have let me not say fear, when you don't have a healthy respect for authority and order and chain of command, you behave like this. Good riddance. Never thought I'd say that about Michael Thomas. He cannot get his ass out of the 504 quickly enough. Please, go be somebody else's problem, because I am tired of spending every offseason talking about Michael Thomas. Good riddance. Give me anybody else. Michael Thomas. He's nuts. What happened to this guy? unfathomable that you could burn every ounce of goodwill you had ever built up with that organization when he was such an all-time great player for this team and for this franchise. It's gone. Give me A.T. Perry. Unbelievable. Bring back Traquan Smith. How about that one? Give me Traquan over Michael Thomas today. How done am I with Michael Thomas? Give me Traquan. Go get Traquan before you give me I would take Traquan Smith today over Michael Thomas. Because as much of a waste of a player as he was, don't give me all the nonsense about how he could block. At least he came to work and kept his mouth shut and did his job. He didn't do it very well. Michael Thomas is a total cancer to this organization. Get out of here. Done. Like, done. Dead to me. Goodbye. Good riddance. Forever. Somebody asked me, hey, should the Saints draft Brian Thomas and give him number 13 so all the fans could just keep their jerseys? Not a bad thought, but I don't want that because I want no correlation to Michael Thomas ever again. I just said give me Traquan Smith. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.